Question number 10, Clayton Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Conservation and asks, is she at all concerned about the health and safety of paua divers and other recreational water users around Stewart Island in relation to shark cage diving permits?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Maggie Barry.
Yes.
Supplementary question, Clayton Mitchell.
Can the Minister then tell us, the House, on this special day, which marks 20 years since Cave Creek, whether a full health and safety risk assessment was conducted prior to the Department of Conservation's decision to issue permits to 2 great white shark cage diving operations around Stewart Island? If not, why not?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Maggie Barry.
The 2 shark cage operators in the Stewart Island area have been operating for about 7 years. There were no restrictions whatsoever on their activities until last December, at the point where the Department of Conservation issued permits to 2 of those groups with very strong stipulations as to how they should behave and conduct themselves to be eligible for those permits.
Supplementary question, Clayton Mitchell.
Does the Minister feel that the public consultation on the conditions of shark cage diving permits was predetermined, given the submissions closed 2 days after the draft permits were released to the 2 operators? 2 days.
Honourable Maggie Barry.
No, it was not predetermined.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Clayton Mitchell.
Would the Minister consider halting great white shark cage diving operations at Stewart Island if it was proved that the safety and well-being of the people of Stewart Island and the sharks were in question, regardless of the permits? If not, why not?
Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Maggie Barry.
The permits have been in place since December of last year. The season, as it were, for sharks coming into our waters ends at the end of May and resumes again at the beginning of December. When the Department of Conservation issued the permits to the 2 people last year, they said that they would review it at the end of the season, which is what they are going to do. They will then review it again at the end of the next diving season. If there are any issues that need to be dealt with regarding the issuing of permits, regarding the safety of the great white sharks, which is why I, as the Minister of Conservation, am involved in this issue, because it is under the Wildlife Act, then those issues will be dealt with and evaluated when the reviews are done. Doc signalled that from the very beginning.
Supplementary question.
Order. Question number 11.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Clayton Mitchell.
Just, I would ask, in light of the recent...
Can I have the point of order, please?
The point of order is we have just recently had a new member in the House, which would entitle us to another question in the House, Mr. Speaker.
And the adjustment will be considered by the Business Committee today and may apply from tomorrow onwards. Question number 11, Mark Mitchell.